How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of On the Block podcast. With me, as always, is the great Spencer B. Clausen. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going fine. It's going fine, man. Look at my hair with these headphones on. I look
Nice.
fucking.
You got a flat top.
Oh yeah, I look dumb as hell. Anyway, yeah, I got my haircut today. I'm not very happy about
Got
it.
them all cut. Nice.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just buzzing my head before I go to Canada.
Shaving it all.
Yeah, I'm so pissed off. Well, it's a $10 haircut. What do you expect? But I didn't expect it to look good. So
Yeah.
Anyway, what's up with you? I hadn't talked to you. Like you said, you work at reception earlier. What's up with
No,
that?
I don't have service. I don't have my service isn't connected to my phone.
Why?
I don't know. I have to go to Verizon, or I have to call them or do something with it.
Okay. Is it for your new phone fucking up?
Yeah, it's just my new phone doesn't have Verizon connected, so I can text and stuff, but...
Okay, so you can at least text. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I'm going to go to Canada. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you
haven't
don't know
gotten
it's a
tickets.
week from now.
I know, and I looked at tickets, and they're super expensive. And then I was like, well, maybe I could drive. I don't know.
How far is that drive?
14 hours.
One way?
One way, yeah.
I don't see that happening.
I did it 2 years ago. I mean, I did last year.
Yeah, I know, but you had help too.
Yeah. I mean, the one way I drove the whole way. I drove all 14 hours one way. On the way there.
I mean, that's still an expense and gas and then tires and, you just never know what could happen on the open road.
Fucking bucks.
Yeah, I mean, is there like a bus that would be cheaper? Is that possible?
I don't know. I haven't looked at that.
Can you get to like Detroit and then like ferry across? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's still gonna be. I think you can. I think that is a little bit faster, but still, fuck that. That sounds lame.
What that would be that sounds lame.
Yeah.
That sounds like the coolest way to get anywhere.
It
honestly.
would be, but fuck
Just
that.
to-
I want to get there now. I don't want to fucking
I would-
have to dick
Well,
around.
That's all good. Well, at least we'll be able to hang out in June
Yeah.
at the Rally for Diabetes.
Yeah.
I talked to Tasha today, and she wouldn't know where my fundraising's at. And I've been collecting some stuff at work and around, so I've been doing my own local fundraising. I got to figure out something to auction though, because they've got like the silent auction. And honestly, I told her I was like, I'm like tapped dry after this so many years. Like
Not
I just
anything left, yeah.
I'm about spent. So I don't know what I'm gonna find. I'll dig something up though. There's things that I'm not as like sentimental about as I maybe once was. So like
Yeah.
I can give them away. Like I've got those Converses that are zip tied together
Oh yeah, yeah.
for that egg one, whatever that one was.
You kept
June
yours
one.
zip tied.
Yeah, there's the zip tied. I'm sure you wore yours around.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's probably something like that. I mean, it's kind of it's pretty cool. It's at least
Yeah.
a legit pair of shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I don't know that. It's also Cinco de Mayo today.
Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. I heard that joke and I thought it was the funniest thing
That's pretty
ever.
good.
Cinco de Mayo, so dumb. I keep saying it. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. That's where we are in this world. And today was the eviction episode of Big Brother.
Yeah, so-
big episode. Final
Yeah.
5, cutting down to Final 4.
Yeah, and what about Jolie?
What a
Oh,
fucking
baby.
crazy one. I mean,
What?
what a ridiculous week he's had, I guess.
Yeah, he did. His game, as he said, fell apart. I think that he was bitter as fuck towards the brothers. He's, calling them immature and stuff. It's basically he was saying, "You promised me you'd vote for me always. You
Yeah.
never vote against me, and you."
Yeah.
So, and I think that's ridiculous. But he was butthurt. He screwed himself up. He was in a really good position.
Well, did he try to play like this, like upset, like as like sympathy, as like
Yeah, he
just to
was-
really garner and just to like put the nail in the coffin of the game of like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. Like, look at how weak I am. Is that where he started to go with it, and then Cassandra used it against him?
Okay, this is from my understanding of the entire situation in its entirety and from people in the game. What was going on is, hold on a second. Okay, sorry, I thought Marilyn was trying to get my attention. All right. What I saw was Joel was really devastated of what happened with Tim and with the power veto and kind of the trouble he was in with Freak Show. Okay, he was upset. Was kind of being a bitch about the situation. In my opinion, he's mopey as hell. That got spun into that that he is like faking as he's acting just so that Cassandra would feel sorry for him and not campaign against him. That's and then like all this deceit kind of got into Kelsey's head, and that's kind of what started. And like they talked about, you know, they just wanted Happy Joel back and that kind of stuff, and that he was just moping. And anyway, that was kind of the bad attitude Joel, the sad Joel thing is that's the roots of that. So he just, you know, I do feel sorry for him if he was honest to God trying to keep that together. I could see, and you know, according to him, the Cassandra's his ride or die. I can see that, and I could see him wanting to get Tim out this week. You know, in a way, you know, or not being too upset if that happened. But anyway, he wanted to keep the Freak Show together, and it got just kind of blew up in his face. And then he didn't know what he was up against with Cassandra and Tim as far as like the attack they had.
Sheer amount.
So
it
was a lot of good gameplay this week. Absolutely.
Well, and a lot of bad gameplay
and
at the same hand because fucking the brothers, like, Jesus Christ, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you guys doing?
That's exactly where I wanted to lead. That is with the Kelsey brothers and Tim. Where did this week leave their game? And you've got to look at the people in the house and say, and honestly, nobody deserves it at this point other than Tim and Cassandra. There could be somebody else that could end up in that position and win it. But this week, after not getting rid of Cassandra, and I mean, I think the game is it's Tim and Cassandra's to lose. Yeah,
we have nothing but love for Joel, but this is exactly the sacrificial goat that they needed to like appease all of us as like good game players. I think, like, I
do see best case scenario for Cassandra next week is that Tim goes. That's what I see happening. And okay, well, before we really get to next week, let's talk about Kelsey this week. Let's talk about where Kelsey stands in the game. There's the Kelsey and the brothers are obviously working together for whatever that means here with Final Four, which, you know, it's up to the veto, whoever wins the veto. But you know, they've got a thing. They kind of made a little deal with Tim, which not worth anything. You know, this Kelsey is in this position where, like, the brothers say that she's a goat, but I don't see that at all. Yeah. I don't see her. I mean, she's overcome. Let me see. I've got a little bit of a list here. You know, she got evicted, came back in, was voted on by them to come back in. So you almost can't even hold being evicted against her, because just as she was voted out, she was voted back in unanimously. Okay, so she came back in with information, got Mitch out. Levita made her kind of like a bigger, faster, stronger, like, you know, it's like she got her improved the Terminator or something and sent her back in. And made her, you know, and kind of changed the way she looked at the game and kind of the way that she thought about the game maybe. And I think that she could use that as, you know, as ammunition in a Final Two speech. You know, came back in and got Mitch out, and Mitch was playing, you know, everybody at the time, Mitch the mastermind, blah, 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 blah. She survived the third wheel. Think about that. I mean, like, you could say she survived it. She came back in. You know, it's Kelsey. It's Kelsey 2.0. You know, but fair enough. So I mean, that's to me, she's got a lot that she could hang her hat on as far as a resume if she's seen that way. The brothers are pretty. I do like the brothers. I know that I catch a lot of saying that, but it's because I like them personally. There's something about them I like. I think that they, you know, obviously playing very delusional. But this is the thing with the brothers and their gameplay. Okay, Phil thought from day one when he saw his brother walk in that they were fucking toast. Okay, he thought if we make it past this first or second week, we're going to do fine. We're a huge target in the house. Why wouldn't they get rid of us, is what he thought. Yeah. You know, why wouldn't they? And there's a lot of people thought that. A lot of people said that. And, you know, they played the game they played. There was a lot of red herrings early in the game with, you know, Dallas and his crew, the way that kind of shifted around. You had third wheel in place. And, you know, they survived a Maddie showmance, possible showmance. I mean, like, there's... You've got little things that they could say they made it, but that's the reason they think that they're such elite players and playing this awesome game is because they've made it this long. And
But there's
You
something to
know,
be said about like look at where they've been. Like if you look at the draft that I have going on my Twitch channel, like they have the most points, and everyone that has them has racked up the most points because they've won just the sheer amount of things. Like even now, look at where they
absolutely,
secured themselves final three, right?
absolutely.
By
What are
winning.
their comp wins? What are their comp wins right now?
I was gonna
Because
look
okay,
up.
we go ahead and spoil. They've won the HOH.
Yep.
So they've won this.
Yep.
Okay, so
Spoiler
they're going to be
alert.
in the final three. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. But like, think about the comps they've won: vetoes, HOHs. I mean, that one was pure luck. You know, you got to give them that.
Yeah.
The balls, but they were, you know, again, even after being voted by Canada for something, you know what I'm saying? Which would have put a huge target on their backs. You know, presumably that they were able to escape it, and they've got. I mean,
They have
they're
5
seen as
wins. They have 2 vetoes and 3 HOHs, and they saved themselves 1 week.
see.
Or and they got saved. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know how that
I
works, but
mean,
yeah, they have a
like how can you say that's a goat? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like that's a pretty decent resume. And
At
then
this point, they're
you've got
winning out.
in staying with this conversation about what people did for their game this week. You've got Tim, who said earlier one of the only real deserved winners of the season. You know, at the end, and I say deserved. And you can pick that apart, but you know what I mean. Like the game players have had their hand in stuff that have made things happen, that changed their fate. You know, based on strategy. Like you know, had their hands in the pie and worked it all season. Now, also you can argue with the way Tim wasn't there the first week. He had a week of immunity. He was able to build relationships. Without them thinking it was just bullshit because he had this free week. You know, he
Comes in with already.
established this fame. Honestly, this sounds goofy, but I believe his Australian accent it mesmerizes me. So I would imagine mesmerize them as well. I think that people
Jesus
in North
Christ.
America are fascinated with Australian accents. I'm just saying. But no, he was like he dazzled them with famous stories. You know, he positioned himself as like a mentor almost, and you know it's been you know he's played a very interesting game. You know, even with this wild card thing, he's expected to cause drama and do stuff. So he almost got like a free pass on some things, I think. So that's also you know something just sociologically maybe you'd say is an interesting thing to think about. But no, like I said, for Cassandra's game, Tim needs to go next week. So or this week. It's
You're down
creeping
there.
upon us.
Yeah.
And because they see the reason I say that is because I think Kelsey and the brothers see Cassandra as a goat, and I think that whereas if Tim and Cassandra are in the final three with anybody, they know that cutting each other because Tim feels that you know Cassandra's going to dilute his game if they're both there in the final two because I did that too. I was with you. Of course we did that. We talked about it together.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So. You know that's not a sure thing. I think if she ends up in the final three with either the other three, you know, with the brothers, then she's got final two. And like another thing is if Tim goes to the jury, and especially if Cassandra has anything to do with it, because I think she'd like this blood on her hands. I'm really kind of hoping that part. I couldn't say anything based on hard fact on that. But if she wants Tim's blood, I think that he would almost appreciate it, and he'd become like that Philadelphia lawyer there in the jury house for her. Does that make sense?
I haven't seen Philadelphia. If that's it.
So now that's
You're referencing the movie Philadelphia. Tom Hanks.
That's not Tom Hanks. You're referencing.
I haven't seen that one.
That's really a funny joke if you're joking.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, no. Philadelphia lawyer is like when somebody's like, you know, really campaigning for somebody.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah, I've never heard that before.
You know, he's one of those like, you know, people saying,
Big
you know, just like one of those campaigning for you. You know, I mean, even I think Eric Stein said it. You know, that sending him to jury, you know, would be like sending the Philadelphia lawyer there because they'd be actively working to get somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. But that's what that expression means. And I think that the Tim would be that in the jury house for Cassandra and vice versa. I mean, honestly, if you want Cassandra in the final, I mean, like, you know, I don't think, you know, honestly, I think that there's a part of the brothers, I can see it playing out to where somehow the brothers end up winning the final HOH if they get that far. And, well, I guess they will. And taking Tim, thinking
like,
that
we got this. No one's gonna want Canada. Yeah,
everybody wants Canadian to win.
yeah.
That would be a really funny thing.
I can see that happening 100%.
Yeah, I know, I can too. Because
But I mean, pretty much.
dude, are they going to alternate competitions? Like, I mean, even that, like,
Oh.
they never thought they'd get that far.
Yeah, really. Well, that's the thing is like, yeah, I don't know. I guess like everyone
They're both athletic, so like at this point in the game,
doesn't
like
matter
versus,
really.
I mean,
of them. Yeah, Tim's like the
no,
only real
like,
competition.
no, in the final HOH, I mean, like that's a, like they could pull it out, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
the bros absolutely could.
Oh yeah.
So
they could win out
I mean,
from here.
obviously, we just talked about their comp win record. Wouldn't that be hysterical if they did win and Tim makes it all the way in that way? I'd love it.
That could
I
be
would
some
love
good TV.
It would be. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I think we've about covered all of the.
I mean, shit.
People this week that were Joel and Cassandra.
Yeah.
Joel is a super fan. I think he. Honestly, I think the deck got stacked against him. I think that he bitched out for too long. He played the sympathy card.
Yeah, the house got to him at this point.
And then he called this house meeting that didn't go his way at all. It was, very poor points. He got called out on some things. He looked dumb. It just didn't go his way. He's a smart guy, and I mean, like, I hate to refer to the show tonight, but even like Tim in the diary room. Talked about him and Cassandra's like, do we even need Joel this whole time?
Yeah,
it's like, well, obviously, like Joel played the back and forth game, but it beat him on the ass, and they were able to use that dishonesty against him, which as he also pointed out, that everybody's dishonest in this house.
Yeah, he played back too long. He played defensive against someone like Cassandra who's playing offensive, and at that point, like best defense is good offense. Like, you pretty much have to campaign against her just as hard as her, but not without. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you could get past that. That'd be a scary person to go against campaigning. Like, she's got herself out of some crazy situations. She's a wiggler.
Well, dude, had it been me in that position, my stance would have been fairly simple. Anything Cassandra says is bullshit. I'm best friends with the brothers. And Kelsey, I've always loved you, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You keep the focus on Cassandra needs to go. He was a renom, dude. He just had to keep the focus there for I mean, like what, 48 hours, 72 hours, something like that.
3 days.
72 days. Hours. No, 72 days. That's
that's
a long
the whole
time.
season.
But no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's plenty of play there, dude. He completely fucked it up. Like, shit. I'm not saying the house is full of idiots, but like, dude, there's some stuff that's happened. Like, honestly, like I said, that Cassandra got through this week makes me think that Kelsey and the brothers don't even deserve to win if they get there.
Like, they're so dumb. That's so dumb.
Just those dummy moves, unless they're
unless
they're against each other.
I mean, they're like comp people. It's like they win comps and stuff like that, and that's exactly, we've already talked about it. Kelsey has like, I came back into the game and I'm still here, and the brothers have like a sheer amount of comp wins, and on the other side is like Cass and Tim, where it's like Tim has like comps, but their whole thing is like strategy. We played the strategy side of Big Brother. So depending on which one of those two sides get there is how, and like that's how you think of the game. Sure. Is like, do you think they deserve to win it? You prefer the comp style of Big Brother, or you prefer the mind style of Big Brother? Just like, I don't know. I think that they're both equally deserving. I think that me and you prefer the mind style of Big Brother, where it's like manipulation and fun stuff like that. But sure, as you can tell from Twitter, there's fucking people out there that like competitions and.
No, of course. Yeah. It's like, and for the players too, they all value different things. Oddly enough,
yep.
Of course,
absolutely.
And they all see their game differently. They all see the moves they made, even nobody else sees them. There's little, just minutiae in the game, just very small social interactions that each person could say that was an important conversation that I had, or it's important that I shut up then, or it was important that. I just went to bed that night. I mean, there's all these little goofy things that people. It's like airplanes. They leave. What's that conspiracy about the chemtrails?
Oh yeah, chemtrails.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
everybody's game leaves a chemtrail that like only they really are aware of.
Yeah.
But it's so
Disperses
defined.
over time. Yeah.
But it's so defined to them. You know, it's just this
Yeah.
is where I was. This is what made a difference. And you know,
Yeah.
you can see it at that point in the game. Like I know that the brothers think that their wins are huge. They think they're dominant players. They think that they've dodged just huge bullets. And I mean, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so anyway, they, like, and Kelsey's got, like we've broken down earlier. I think that she's got a really compelling final two plea if she's able to get that far. And I mean, honestly, if Canada's got a vote, I mean, look at this. Canada's got a vote. Okay, did they tell the House guests that? I don't think they did. I'm not sure if
I don't
the
think
House
they
guests
did.
confirmed
I don't
that.
think they did. But
Okay.
you can
Well,
safely
think
assume
think
as a
about-
fucking house guest, if you don't assume that that's what's gonna happen, you're a
Sure,
fucking
sure.
dipshit. You shouldn't
Oh,
even
no,
be on the
absolutely.
fucking show.
And think about this school of thought. Then think about taking the brothers into a final two scenario where Canada's going to have a vote, and they've already voted them for one thing. I mean,
What
just
did they
that
vote
alone
for? What?
for that HOH with them and Nikki.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, like it's kind of it's a situation.
So that'd be a worry thing. Yeah. I'd
that would
worried
be
about
something that could cross your mind.
And you
if
could never
were
perceive what
thinking-
the outside
No,
thinks
no,
of
you-
them right now. You could not perceive. You could not, like, if you were in that house, you would not know. Like, no matter how much everyone on the outside thinks that, like, they suck the worst, and if you were in that house, you'd probably think that they suck, but you could never know if fucking Canada liked them or didn't like them, especially since they've already been voted once.
Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that they have been voted once. I mean, like I would if
You'd
I
have
would
to
think
assume that they'd be the
You'd
most
have
loved.
to assume
Yeah.
they'd be the most loved if they get to
Yeah.
that point. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's only they've already been voted in once by a majority amongst everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, you put them in just up against two people
Yeah.
and give Canada an option to vote. It seems like they're going to collect a lot of votes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'd seem pretty dangerous to take. with
Worry.
you.
Yeah,
If you-
absolutely.
If you consider that.
Which they have to be thinking about. Shit.
So do you think if it gets down to final three, and for some reason Tim and Cassandra end up there in the final two together,
Which isn't that tough. It's not that outrageous to think.
No, it is, because one of them is going to have to win that final HOH and decide to take the other for that to happen. And I
What?
just don't
Oh,
see-
to the final two? You're saying final
Yeah.
two?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Get down.
Yeah,
get down
yeah.
to the
That's
final two.
that's a lot tougher.
What do you I mean, who would you give it to?
If I was there, fuck, I don't know. Because I don't know Tim. Like, if it was like Dr. Will, I'd be like, fuck, I'd always give it to Dr. Will, even if I was in Canada, you know?
Yeah.
But like, the thing is, like, he's Australian. I haven't seen him. I don't necessarily respect him wholeheartedly. Like, I respect his crazy gameplay because I'm not seeing his gameplay this season because I'm only seeing it from if I was a player, you know? And then plus I'm like a real, some people call it some people call it nationalism. I don't know.
Some people call it xenophobia.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I love my country, so I'd probably vote against that.
Well, there's nothing wrong with like at the most mildest level, like it's you're encouraged to be patriotic.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
a young,
Yeah, aka
you know?
patriotism. Yeah.
yes, patriotism, absolutely. I remember growing up, like they'd make us take the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
Why?
oh my God, is
This is
this like a real deal contract? Y'all make
Yeah.
me say this every day that I'm pledging my full-fledged allegiance
Yeah.
to the country. I'm like, that's a lot for a kid.
Exactly, and you see like the videos of like people like goose stepping down the streets. It's like we're one step away from that. Like you're one step away from like let's march for our country too. Like let's do that. We're talking every day. Whatever. All right, this.
I believe we're
Tangent.
getting a little off.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, like I don't know, like
I think
even though
yeah.
Tim would be a deserving winner, it still seems, and like I said, it still seems odd.
It would kill me. It'd kill me that
Cassandra.
someone. It would kill me that someone came in and fucking destroyed our season. You know, and it'd be like fuck, and we have to get it to him now, and we're gonna look like the fucking biggest idiots. Like our season's gonna look like idiots.
I mean, like the thing is, if Cassandra got the win over Tim, if that people would call it a bitter jury, I think that'd be an interesting.
See,
thing.
I don't even know if you could like say that because to me, well, I guess the bitter in the fact that it's like if you're voting for Canada.
think
But I
about
think
when
that
Joel. Well, think about when Joel walks in that jury house and tells everybody why he's there. You
yeah,
know, and if say she wins the power veto, okay,
yeah.
and Kelsey goes home. Like, think about when she walks in the jury house. I
I
mean,
mean,
there's gonna
it
dude
depends on who sends
with
who
Kelsey and
home and stuff.
Jared
You
with
know.
Kelsey and Jared in there able to talk about Cassandra's game from that side of
Well, that's a
things.
third wheel, or like the
Yeah, Joel able to talk about her game from the Freak Show point of view, and then if you get, I mean, like,
Well, even
the,
listen to
the,
Nikki. What did Nikki say? She didn't want the brothers
she
Kelsey
mentioned, yeah,
or
Cassandra's the
Tim.
only one left. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Joel and yeah, that was Joel and Cass. So I
So,
mean, like even if Nikki can see that, where she would rather vote for Cass over Tim, then it could be Cass's regardless.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely,
I don't know
absolutely.
because it sounded well. But the other thing is that it sounded like Jared is so bitter at Cass at this point. Like, even though he did give her props in this episode, it still sounds like he's bitter as fuck and it will kill him. But again, like, if she's sitting next to Tim, they might have to swallow that fucking pill of, like, at least it's fucking Canada. At least we're voting Canada. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah,
like, it could be beneficial for her game if she brings Tim, just because maybe people will be so bitter or be so against fucking Australia winning. I don't know.
I mean, like, it's something that's been brought up and talked about in the house, so it's definitely. I mean, if the brothers are on the jury, I mean, you'd think that that's one thing that they'd have in mind. So, and I think that they, especially, I don't know, I think they'd be vocal if they have enough time to campaign. Which, I mean, they're gonna have much time. They're gonna be the last member of the jury if they get
Yeah.
voted out. So they won't have a whole lot of time. But who knows what they could say?
Yeah.
So, and we'll see. And who knows,
Plus,
they
they're
could play
two
it all crazy
minds.
this year and just get it down to a final two. You know what I'm
Which,
saying? Like get down to a
yeah,
final
like the old
two.
school.
You will, yeah, and like leave them in the house for like the last
A
day,
week,
so that
yeah.
like the jury's able to meet and all talk as a full. Because listen, it's not just gonna be it's gonna be a short jury. It's gonna be 7 people up until finale night when there's the 8th, and then Canada. So like
Yeah.
really, there's 2 jury members that aren't able to talk to the rest of the jury.
Yeah.
You know,
Won't be
so
able to
that's
ask like certain questions. Yeah, that's a lot of things. Like that's an interesting thing that I think we can even talk about. I don't know, but yeah, like for the jury situation, what happens is like we were in the particular situation where I had to go out and do the jury stuff, and you didn't really. I mean, you came out and did jury stuff, but like we all had to sit in
Yeah,
a room and
I was in
develop
jury for like 20 minutes.
questions. We all had to develop like questions about like, okay, well, what are we gonna ask them and stuff like that, and who's gonna ask these questions and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is kind of a suck thing for
when
you because you didn't really get to.
when I got voted out, I talked to Julie Chen,
Yeah.
which was with all my pleasure, and I went behind. You got the screens where she'll walk by and it'll show like the house and stuff.
Yeah.
I was back there, and Chris was on his cell phone. He was like, "What question you gonna ask your jury question?" I was like, Anyway, we came up with it, and like he texted it to somebody, so like I couldn't change it or whatever.
Okay, yeah,
And then that's it.
that's so
And,
crazy. So
yeah,
you
and
got
then,
to like quickly.
and then
Did they warn
held
you at
me
all?
back there. They brought y'all in. That's when I watched y'all walk in, and then they said, "Oh, the last member of the jury or whatever." And then I came out
Yeah,
in my
that was
chocolate milk stained T-shirt.
Yeah.
To meet Julie Chen.
what a fucking
So,
bummer
it
that
had a
was.
spot on it, like right there, for like a dummy.
Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting thing. It kind of sucks for whoever that last person is because yeah, hopefully they warn them. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Shit. What else is there?
I think we've hit it from almost every angle at this point, because obviously we've talked past this week's veto win, because this week all that matters is the veto. I mean, the brothers have already gotten the safety with the HOH, so we're just looking forward to the final HOH and looking forward to comp wins. And as we said, we've got probably the biggest competition beasts in the house are still playing, still winning, and it could be interesting.
Absolutely.
So
Well, yeah. Well, I guess if I don't get to go to Canada, maybe we should
maybe
hook up
we
a
should-
computer, stream.
everybody follow me on Snapchat. Spencer
Yeah.
B. Clausen on Snapchat. I'll be
Do
Snapchat.
Snapchat shit.
All Toronto stuff. Yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Oh, but we should say that as of right now, I would say that Cassandra would probably go home if brothers win veto. or Kelsey and think stay the same.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them wanting to take Tim further just because they think they won't win against him. I mean, they'll win against him, I guess. Yeah. You get it.
So anyway. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for watching. Follow me at Spencer B. Clausen. Make sure you follow our podcast Twitter. We never really shut that up, but it's at On the Block Pod. Don't forget that Max and Corinne's Survival with All the Fixins is on the same SoundCloud and iTunes, so go there and follow them. And we've separated that now. McCray, do you want to kind of take over and talk about
Yeah.
that?
So here's the thing. Okay, so pretty much we've heard your complaints. We no, I don't know.
We've listened to the cries.
We've listened to pretty much. Survivor with All the Fixins is getting big, and they're getting good enough to the point where it's like it's almost smarter for us to separate. Because what we had before is we had one channel that was the On the Block Network that had 3 different podcasts on the same feed on iTunes. So that kind of got a little messy, and it got a little confusing, especially if you had subscribed to our channel. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to separate these out into separate channels. We're going to separate All the Fixins right now as its own thing. So if you're a Survivor fan, you can get a full-on Survivor feed. If you're a Big Brother fan, we're going to keep Shield Show and our show together for a little bit longer. If things might change, and we might separate that one too eventually. But right now we're separating
just
all
for the
Fixins.
Convenience of having one RSS feed per show for subscription purposes.
Yep, exactly. It's just smarter, and like I don't know. It's just kind of annoying if you're someone that has it and you just keep on seeing like, okay, I'm getting all these fucking updates for, okay, yeah, there's a new On the Block, fuck On the Block, you know, like I just want to hear ATF, you know.
Exactly.
So, and vice versa. So we pretty much separated out just for convenience and ease of use. We'll get the episodes back up onto a new SoundCloud. We'll announce the SoundCloud. The SoundCloud's already out, so if you look, you can probably find it, but it's not set up yet. We're going to get all the sounds onto there. We'll get the new episodes up. We'll get that tied to a new iTunes that we'll also announce. It doesn't sound like that many of you guys are too into iTunes, but we definitely have a couple people, so I'm definitely going to try to get on that as soon as possible. So bear with us while we get that going, and look at our Twitter feeds, because there you'll see announcements about all this stuff. It's just a little bit of growing pains right now. It's just we're building something big, and it's tough to plan for something so great and something such a massive scope, you know. The Egyptians, exactly. The Egyptians, shit, you better believe that they had some plans, and they screwed up a couple times before they made them pyramids. So we're gonna make some great pyramids that are gonna be entertainment. Illuminati. That's all I'm trying to say. Right. Illuminati, folks. You get it. Try to convince Peter to buy some headphones. Yep, that's definitely next. We also, Alex microphone he got a new microphone. It sounds a lot better. Now we got to work on Peter and his echoey ass apartment. But other than that, we're growing and we're growing. Acoustics. Yeah, it fucking sounds like, yeah.
I sound great.
Yeah. But we're growing, and we appreciate all the support we've got on Patreon.
All the love,
Survivor's kicking our ass in Patreon donations. So if you have ever felt the urge to give us a little help and a little fucking bump, we need to get a website. If you're a website developer, if you're a website designer, hit us up. We need your help. We need interns. We need everyone. We need your help. Let's make this a badass community. All that shit. Let's go, team. Let's go, fam. Let's do it. Rally up. Save your money and come to the NYC BB premiere party. No, I don't know. Maybe. All right. Let's wrap it up. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Spencer, what do you got? Snapchat? What's your Snapchat?
Spencer B. Clausen, same as my Twitter. Follow me on Snapchat to see just me being me.
Yeah. Rhaegar, we do watch Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones is great. All right. And you can follow me at McCray. I was just looking at the chat. At McCraychum on Twitter. And all that other good shit. You guys know where to find me. Thanks again, everybody, for listening and watching, and give us some support, give us some love everywhere. Go listen to Shield Show and All the Fixins, both high quality entertainment programming. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks.
And we'll see you guys next time on the block. Bye-bye.